Gretchen's still in the bookstore.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. I'm Sarah Benson, and we're going to start with a couple of songs. If you'd like to stand, you may. And yes, just to get our energy up and our join together and make some pretty sounds. I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God's in everything. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
So good morning. I am not Reverend Bonnie Smith, the spiritual leader of the Mastery and Life Center. I am a practitioner filling in for her. My name is Tina Bailey. And my voice may sound a little shaky because sometimes these songs just really touch my soul. So I'm pleased to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. So we welcome anyone visiting for the first time and want you to know that we have a packet of goodies and information in the back. And in that bag is a gift certificate to the bookstore where we have some awesome books that will impact your life. And I want to give you a friendly reminder to wear your name tag. Sometimes mine is crooked, but I usually have it on. And it's okay if it's crooked. But we'd like to address you by name and get to know you, so we really encourage you to do that. And also, friendly reminder to put your phone on vibrate or airplane mode. How amazing it is that sometimes we still forget that. I want to give you an update on Ukraine. There is one teaching chapter in Timonos founded many years ago by Dr. Barbara Legger, and another group going through the affiliation process for becoming a teaching chapter. You can follow them on Facebook and join in Prayers for Ukraine, where they continue to pray in English and Russian daily during the week. And if you're interested in joining in with prayer or following them, let Reverend Bonnie know, and she'll assist you. In 2022, we established the Legacy of Faith here at the center. Members of this legacy are those who have demonstrated a giving consciousness by naming the center in their estate plans. To commemorate those generous donors, we will install a faith wall in the center. And we would like you to help us come up with the visual concept. I know we have artistic-leaning people here in the group. So see the newsletter for more information. The newsletter is on the website or the information table in the social hall. And we invite you to add to your root and reboot by joining the Spiritual Center Zooms on Mondays at 11 o'clock. That information is on the website as well. There is a new book study beginning January 10th. Sign up in the social hall, and lots of people are already on the list. To motivate you to go to the list, you will find the name of the group and the book that's being studied. A new look for the New Year interior design workshop for the layperson will have 3 parts beginning January 21st. A workshop that will benefit the center while enhancing your understanding of lighting, color, and basic principles of interior design. Sounds like it's a good way to call out the artistic side of you. And it's a perfect event to invite friends to. Sharon Bray will teach from her many years of experience, and information is on the table in the social hall. So look for the name tag that says Sharon Bray, okay? I thought I'd call you out so that you would put it on next week. So this is Sharon. And on the mundane, everyday housework type side, we need a volunteer who will take the laundry home every week and wash it so that we always have wonderfully clean linens. Just let Reverend Bonnie know. And one of my favorite books throughout the years of my teachings is this thing called You, and it's exciting that we will be teaching that class. The center will be teaching that class starting January 26th. Pick up a flyer and sign up for the class in the social hall. This is a class that's very powerful, and it's not intimidating because it's not the Science of Mind textbook. It's a little book in about an inch thick, and it's really powerful with meditations and prayer topics. And we do have some certificates from the Essential Ernest Homes. I have one for Sarah Benson. Would you like to come forward? If we had a drummer, we'd do a drum roll. And Doug Benson, yay! Kay Ann Covey, woohoo! And Christy Kemp. Is Christy here? No. Not here. Well, they've taken steps to step forward on the path of religious science and to use these principles in a powerful way in their lives. So thank you, guys. Here at the center, we do believe in the power of prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment. And there's a powerful group of all the New Thought Centers, ministers, and practitioners that meet together on Tuesday afternoon and do a Zoom prayer call. There's 7 or 8 of us on the call. And so we love to pray with you. We don't pray for you. We pray with you. The cards are in the backs of the chairs. Fill out your request and put it in the plate by the door, and I will pick it up and send it over to the prayer list. Know that Spirit is always working in our lives. And there's also a place on the card for you to put what you're going to be doing while we're also praying for you. And, we love demonstrations. We know prayer works, and it's always wonderful when we get the demonstrations filled out. So when you have a demonstration to a prayer request that you've put in, please put it on the demonstration card that's also in the back of the chairs and put that in the offering plate. Now it's time for song, silence, and prayer.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, oh, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. I will be, I will be, I will be.
I know that this is a sacred place. This is a wonderful place where we gather to see the truth of our being reflected in the eyes of one another. That the more that we see this and know this, we can experience it in our lives and step out in our own individual greatness. And what a difference that makes. So I know that this morning is truly a blessed event, for each one of you is here, and each one of you makes a difference. Life is unfolding in wild and wonderful and mysterious and confusing ways. And I know that in this place, we are in the right place, right here and right now. And it is good. And my reading for today, I have 2 readings, one from Emma Curtis Hopkins. Remember that the world will persist in exhibiting before you what you persist in affirming the world is. The man who molds the vital energies of omnipresence by right thought about its bounty brings forth bountifully. And the writings of Ernest Holmes. Our paths are studded with a myriad of experiences and special people, which helped each of us define our beliefs and the nature of our world.
We know what we're doing. We're going to do a folk song called Come and Go With Me, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, so please sing along.
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound.
There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound.
Oh, come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. Oh, come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be peace in that land. There'll be peace in that land. There'll be peace in that land where I'm bound. There'll be peace in that land. There'll be peace in that land. There'll be peace in that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound.
Maybe I don't need to read the introduction since Doug and I are the speakers today. So I will just tell you a little bit about us. But before I do that, I want to say I really appreciate seeing the smiling faces of you guys out there. It makes a big difference. Doug and I have been practitioners since 1991, and we become Emeritus practitioners, and this place can't get rid of us. We just have had such phenomenal growth and experiences through here that has helped us in all parts of our lives. And we speak every January and share that information. We were two entirely different people when we met. I was a pretty closed off and sarcastic person. I was a master of sarcasm, believe it or not. I think Chris knows that. And Doug was a transplant from California, so what more can I say? So we met outside of this community, and Doug introduced me to the philosophy. And I was going to say later in my portion of the talk that when we first talked about it on our first date, and he talked about the universe and this infinite power. And I had been a Lutheran and away from Lutheran for a long time. I thought, boy, this guy is really weird. I can see how we fit in California. But we persevered, and the rest is history. We've been married since 85, and best friends, and lovers of this philosophy, lovers of each other, and we love each one of you that come in here, and we want to see this place full again. So we're going to have a challenge for you at the end of my portion of the talk. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Doug Bailey, marvelous practitioner.
Something I say not often enough, but pretty often, is that, see what a lucky guy I am? Well, merry or happy 2023. And I get to spend the rest of the year trying to get used to writing it, I guess. It is traditional in religious science centers of spiritual living to review the first 4 chapters of Science of Mind, which sees that a limitless power is at your disposal, that this power works for us by working through us, and that it expresses through our beliefs. And in each moment, we create the experiences of our lives as an outpicturing of these beliefs. Let us recognize that the life experiences which led each of us here this morning were all different, yet in a group with similar core beliefs, yet resulted in a group of similar core beliefs, who would fundamentally agree with Plotinus, the 3rd century Greek philosopher, who said, "There is within each of us a higher man or woman awaiting our recognition." Most of us were brought up in an era when we collectively recognized our connection with those around us. The Depression, World War II, and the years which followed created an environment that recognized that we are all in this together. We have seen that social pendulum swing from a community focus to an individual focus. We now live in a world that many believe contains a myriad of threats and dangers. Imagine with this limitless power at our disposal, how we can create limitless positive opportunities for ourselves and those around us in 2023. Our mission this morning is to see how this power is connected to our lives, and to see 2023 as a magnificent opportunity for our philosophy to transform perceived difficulties into the knowledge that the good we desire is already ours. Indeed, always available. Age is a wonderful asset, providing perspective on what we see has been effective and what has not. We know positive thought and outlook generally attracts opportunity. We also know that negative thoughts and perceptions generally attracts difficulty. In spite of what we hear in the news and from concerned people in our experience, how do we recognize that wonderful opportunity that's available to us? I think the first 2 chapters of Science of Mind are summed up wonderfully in Ernest Holmes' own words. The thing then works for us by working through us and is us always. All that happens to us can be explained under the laws of cause and effect. We take action based upon conscious or unconscious beliefs, which is cause, and results in our experiences, which are their effect. This process contains the catalyst for changing our lives' experiences, whether we are conscious of it or not. This process, and let us be clear, whether they are positive or negative changes is truly up to us. Today we'll offer some tools from Science of Mind to help transform 2023 into a wonderful year for ourselves and those around us. As a new pattern unfolds, those people or things that are in alignment with this new pattern are attracted into our experience, and those who are not may vanish. Tina and I changed our reality when we studied and embraced this philosophy. It opened up possibilities for us to release our rote responses to difficult situations and to embrace a willingness to think differently and see each moment as a divine gift to be relished. We learned to trust Spirit. We believe the difficult situations come along to get our attention, that they may be wake-up calls to remind us to become more engaged in life. As we grow older, we may comfort ourselves with the familiar, from which we have developed rote responses. In the same measure, as the world becomes more routine, time seems to speed up. Life becomes a kaleidoscope of seemingly interchangeable experiences. And speaking of our favorite kaleidoscope of difficult experiences, let us talk about our finance. That was supposed to be funny, guys. As Adam Smith saw an invisible hand at the core of our economic reality, we believe that Holmes and Emma Curtis Hopkins' philosophy saw an invisible hand at the core of our personal financial reality. Of course, all of ours are perfect, but after many workshops, books, and conversations with financially successful religious scientists, I recognized that I thought my financial well-being was based on a finite commodity, dollars, whose source was my job. I was challenged to consider instead that it was an infinite circulating energy whose source was divine. One heck of a paradigm shift that required an exploration of my self-worth, relationship with money, relationship with source, and a recognition that only I could clean up my own thinking. If in fact our source is an infinite circulating energy, it is said that tithing can allow us to align with that flow. My first metaphysical teacher, Reverend Peggy Bassett, often stressed that the church does not need your money, but they do need you to be successful in your life. She would emphasize the difference between tithing and giving, where tithing recognizes Spirit as our source, and giving responds to the needs of others. I can testify that in the beginning, tithing is not an easy thing to do. It is counterintuitive, and giving away some of what you need to pay your bills seems hardly financially responsible. As an acknowledgement of the divine flow that supports us in our work, Tina and I have tithed consistently over 40 years. For tithing to have worked, there were ongoing changes to our thinking that we needed to make. It is not about dollars. It is about being in the divine flow. Acknowledging God as our source and stepping out in faith brought about an easing in our life. And in my reading of Science of Mind textbook, this paragraph provided a powerful perspective for me. Free yourself forever from that thought that God may be pleased by a life of sacrifice, that the world is any better off because of your misery, or the righteousness is more perfectly expressed through poverty than abundance. It is, however, expressed more powerfully by that mental environment we create and build through our beliefs and relationships with those around us. To take us from here is my favorite practitioner and partner in life, Tina Bailey.
Tough act to follow. Thank you, Doug. This limitless power which works through us is often recognized when someone comes into our life who sees that greater person and reflects it back to us. This is one of the roles, and indeed a gift, that each one of us who comes into this center offers with every interaction and every Sunday. During January, whenever we speak, we share the importance of what we learned from our involvement with this center and its members. How this center and the Science of Mind philosophy has strengthened our relationship, our business affairs, and indeed blessed our lives. Probably the most powerful activity and the tool that I'm going to talk about is classwork. As I mentioned in the introduction, when Doug and I met, we were just really worlds apart. And I'm not sure that our relationship would have ever gone anywhere if we hadn't worked on ourselves. The classwork was so powerful for us in the beginning of our personal journey. I knew nothing about religious science, and Doug had been familiar with it. I am positive that starting out with this foundation and the classwork is responsible for the strength of our relationship still 40 years later. The classwork and the classes provide a safe, loving, and non-judgmental environment in which to explore our beliefs, attitudes, and life experiences in a different light, through a positive lens, so to speak, with people of like mind, and you can share it in confidence. We were introduced to and embraced spiritual principles and activities through which we learned how to use these principles and ideas in our thinking and actions, to see the outpicturing and to learn to tweak our thinking to get different outcomes. As I've said, indeed what we learned made a lot of sense to us and provided a more positive perspective about our past and our present. And of course, to begin to build a strong foundation for our future together. I was carrying a lot of garbage from my past when I met Doug. And in fact, I at one time went to a therapist to help me, and he said, "How long are you going to keep dragging this bag of stuff around with you, Tina?" So I knew what I was going to start working on in the classwork of this philosophy. I learned to move from blaming the events of my past and feeling helpless about my participation in those events to blessing them for bringing me here to the principles of Science of Mind. And I heard the following on one of Reverend Peggy Bassett's talks, and it helped me to release judgment of my past and to move to embracing it. She said, "Never make your past bad. It is part of who you are, and in fact, a building block of your present and future, therefore, part of your strength." Don't you like to look at it that way? So if we believe that God is all there is, and we are made in the image and likeness of God, that our experiences are of God, then what is there to fear? The facts of our situation and experiences are true, but we are at choice of how we react and respond to them. We can be an active participant in our life or a victim of our life experiences. We can remember the truth and move through fear. It was the power and truth we had learned from classwork that inspired us to continue to practitioner classes and training, because we wanted to share this philosophy to others. And over the years, we've watched the impact of some of the classes with the participants who really dug in and used the classwork and the class environment to make changes in their lives. It's a wonderful experience to see in the participants when that light comes on, when they really see who they are. While this process is always unfolding for us, there have been special people and events which bring light and inspiration to the process. The most powerful example of this was in a Roots class that we did, and Nancy Ritchie was in there. And she's told this story many times, so we're not violating any confidences. One of the first exercises we had to do was to look into our lives, do a meditation, look into our lives, and see what might be lacking in our lives, because the exercise was to plant a seed for something you want to see to come into fruition. So she took it very seriously, and she got excited about it. She, in her meditation, what she called to the surface was that she was missing music in her life. She had always been into a lot of music, and she had put that aside to focus on the business with her and Sam. So she planted a seed that she would bring more music into her life. And in the weekly classes, there were meditations and exercises and prayer partners that supported each other on looking at the seed thought, hearing what had transpired, and helping to bring the seed out into the physical plane. So those of you that know Nancy and Sam know how powerfully music roared back into the life of Nancy. And that music blessed all the New Thought spiritual communities here. It blessed the Las Cruces community with the chorale and the individual lessons that she gave to people of all ages. Her joy and her love and her light is all over this community. She demonstrated clearly for us that listening to the longing of her heart, taking action, and trusting Spirit brought forth such amazing joy into her life. This is science of mind in action for sure. So how can we make a difference in our daily lives and bring a bit of joy into the lives of others, changing yours and their mental atmospheres? From Ernest Holmes' lectures and seminar, he writes, "May our minds be so open to the infinite abundance of love and beauty and compassion and goodness, simplicity, and sincerity, that it flows around the world, bringing back, as it must, the joy that is God." We opened this talk briefly, kind of sort of telling you that we were going to give you a challenge for 2023. We were going to give you homework, so to speak. Don't get upset, it's not difficult. But first, I thought it would be appropriate to introduce a concept that in our early days of religious science, when we were studying all kinds of stuff, we were studying pendulums, we were studying dream catchers, we were studying all kinds of different phenomena. And one theory that was going around was called the 100th monkey effect. Some of you may have heard it. The 100th monkey effect is a hypothetical phenomenon in which a new behavior or idea is spread rapidly by unexplained means from one group to all related groups once a critical number of members of one group exhibit the new behavior or acknowledge the new idea. The behavior was said to propagate even to groups that are physically separated and have no apparent means of communicating with each other. So this began with a study in 1952 in which primatologists conducted a behavioral study of monkeys on a Japanese island. The researchers would supply the monkeys on the island with sweet potatoes and wheat in open spaces and often by the ocean, on the beaches. An unanticipated byproduct of the study was that the scientists witnessed several innovative evolutionary behavioral changes by the group, 2 of which were orchestrated by one young female and the others by her siblings or contemporaries. The account of only one of these behavioral changes spread into a phenomenon called the 100th monkey effect. They observed that some of the monkeys learned to wash sweet potatoes initially through the 18-month-old female in 1953. She had discovered and demonstrated that sand and grit could be removed from the potatoes by washing them in a stream or in the ocean. So they tasted better. Gradually, the new potato washing habit spread through the monkeys in the usual fashion, through observation and repetition. This behavior spread up until 1958, when a sort of group consciousness had suddenly developed among the monkeys as a result of one last monkey learning potato washing by conventional means, rather than the prior one monkey at a time method. Dr. Watson concluded the researchers observed that once a critical number of monkeys was reached, i.e., the 100th monkey, this previously learned behavior instantly spread across the water to monkeys on nearby islands. Doesn't this sound kind of like race mind, race consciousness that religious science is teaching? It means that what we do here in Las Cruces can travel around the world. So here's your homework. Let's suppose that if every one of us does some of the following during our daily activities, we could really change the environment around us and others. From concern and perhaps discomfort to comfort and calm and positivity and brotherly love. Don't you think it's a worthwhile experiment to try? For it will affect each of us as well as the community and jump to our families who perhaps live in other places. And it will help us stay in the present moment, to remember the good and not focus on the bad. Some of these I've come across as I shop or talk on the phone with people or exchange emails. So some of them can be as simple as acknowledge those who help you during the day. Maybe with a smile and a how are you today? And don't just do it, how are you today, and then go on. Ask them how they are and be present and listen for a response. People love to be listened to. And sometimes they'll say, I'm grateful. I have a grocery checker that says that when you say, how are you doing? She says, I'm grateful. And it's a terrific thing to acknowledge. Perhaps you could put a tagline on your emails or your text messages that say, have a blessed day. Even government personnel that I correspond with often have that as their it's not the salutation, but under their name. And it sure does feel good when I read that. Smile. Smile as you go about your business. Smile when you see people out in the community that you're passing. And imagine if we could send smiles across America. Just imagine that in your mind, and we can help begin and make that happen. Focus on the good in your life and stop complaining. Surround your negativity with love and light, and release it. Whenever a negative thought pops into your head and you are conscious of it, say what we used to say, cancel, cancel, cancel. Some of these things we learned 30 years ago and we've forgotten, so these talks help us bring them back. See the divinity in each person you encounter. It's easy to see it in you guys, so let's take it out into the community and see it everywhere we go. Bless each day and greet it with a smile and a cheerful outlook. Maybe start a gratitude journal and enter gratitudes in it, either in the morning or at night. Meditate and pray. This is one I love. When someone opens a door for you, don't just rush through. And especially if it's a little kid, take a moment to say, thank you. That's behavior that we want to propagate. And so when someone opens the door for you, say thank you, and then pass it along when you get a chance. And of course, no talk we present here could ever not talk about taking classes. They have, as you've heard, they are just so powerful when you take them so seriously and share yourselves and know that it's a safe environment and that you have prayer partners to work with you on. When we were in classwork, we had Doug and another member of the class they just had so much stuff that they got into hollering matches. And then by the end of the class, they hugged and said, "I love you." And I think we've shared this before one time, and it was Geneva. We know Geneva. She got so mad at Doug trying to tell her how beautiful she was that she just gathered up her stuff and she went out the door. She said, "I'm just going to leave." Then she came back in a couple minutes later and she said, "Your car's blocking my car. I can't." So classwork is frustrating, it's powerful, it's loving, it gets angst, but it sure does help drive your life. And you're never too old to start taking these things. I am so grateful that we didn't let the cost of the classes derail us. We seriously thought about it, because for both of us to do the classes at the same time, that long ago, was really a financial difficulty. But we felt that it was so important, and we did it. You know, we may never know the impact we have on others in our lives, and that's okay. We really do have an impact. And in closing, remember, like the acorn, there is a pattern of perfection within each one of us. So let's have it blossom and share it with the world in 2023. And let us pray.
Let's just take a deep breath and allow ourselves just to be present with this, with these magnificent words of Tina's. Allow ourselves in this moment of peace and clarity just to see that magnificent year that lays before us. Let us be grateful for the lessons of the past and embrace the realization that all of our experiences of the past are a strength which serve us now. Let us release any thought about the past which do not support and empower us in this moment. Let us recognize that pattern of perfection and seeds of greatness which are growing within us now. Let us nurture them in growing awareness and watch them blossom in the mirrors of our experience. Let us know we are an expression of the power and beauty of the One. And as we evolve and awaken in this recognition of our connection to all around us, let us see in each person that expression of the magnificent face of God, and just give thanks for our opportunity to truly make a difference in the world around us. And so it is.
I was just looking for Judy Hunt. I hear she has a birthday today. And I thought we should sing to her. Happy birthday Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you. She's a good receiver, huh? All right. I'm going to do just a quickie little song. It's called Go Out and Shine, and we might be adding this to the congregational mix, so learn it. Sing along. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the walk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine.
I need to remind you of something that I forgot. You can fill out your prayer requests and put them in the plates at the back of the center, at the back. Huh? The prayer box or in the plate. You can do either one. I'm in charge today, okay? Okay, and we want you, I want you, Doug wants you to practice tithing. Take a deep breath, and you can start out with a little bit, but just step out in faith and practice tithing. And so, speaking of tithing and giving, we want to remind you that on Amazon, you can sign into Amazon under www.smile.amazon and designate our center to get a percentage of whatever you spend there. I had forgotten about the smile part, so do what Bob has said. He sets up a shortcut to do that. And it empowers the center. The tithe recipient for January is Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And truly you can see Spirit at work in the activities that they do for young people, and they've done it for 20 years. So 10% of whatever comes into the center goes directly to Big Brothers and Big Sisters to support that Spirit-driven organization. Having a special adult they can turn to gives a little one greater self-confidence, leads in better choices, and generates more hopeful plans for the future. And now I think we're ready.
Oh, we're going to do the divine love through me and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, I get to say that. Please join me as we affirm this. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me, and so it is.
All right.
Okay.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay. Let's circle up for the peace song. I don't know. You put we don't have it back. Oh, okay. You can put it in the plate or in the God hand. And if you feel like holding hands, you have my permission.
Okay. Or just hang out where you are. That's fine too.